South Africa are heading into the biggest test of their tour, and honestly, the amount of adversity that this team has had to go through is unreal. The red cards, the key suspensions, losing 2 starting locks, and no lock replacements called up, playing Ireland in Ireland against a team that has actually beaten us, I think 3 times in the last 4 matches. And in all of this, somehow the Springboks just keep winning. They've only lost 2 games all year. They're the #1 ranked team in the world. They've beaten Japan, France, Italy convincingly on this tour. So we're going to just break down why South Africa keeps rising when everything goes against them. So let's just start with the obvious, man. This hasn't been a smooth tour for South Africa. Far from it. I mean, Lood de Jager suspended for 4 weeks, one of South Africa's most important line-out generals, and Franco Mostert red carded versus Italy in what I thought was not a red card. I thought the officials got that absolutely wrong. And at this point, it kind of feels like they're plotting something against South Africa. I hate talking about the referees, but at this point, we cannot keep quiet. This has to stop. And I feel all rugby has to look at this because it might affect big games. It might affect other teams in big games and affect players who are putting in the work and they could miss games because of poor officiating. And I think other teams would panic in these kind of situations. But luckily, South Africa has got a good coach and the team still finds a way to win. I mean, red cards 2 weeks in a row. This team has played with 14 men under real pressure. And instead of falling apart, they found another gear. This is what makes the Springboks different. Adversity isn't a problem for them. It actually fuels them. That's what I love about this. So Ireland at home are a different beast, guys. And that's why we're going to see a return of Eben and Peter Steph Tito in the lineup. I think Rassie will go back to the old guard for experience. Dearlindi and Jesse Crew at the midfield as well. I think the pairing of Sacha and Kobus has worked well. So we're going to see them return as well. So that's another big test for Sacha and what I think will be a hostile environment. I really want him to improve his goal kicking. And I think we're going to see Manu off the bench. Or we might have Pollard also on the bench just to provide cover because this might actually go down to the wire. And I think we're going to see Andre there as well in case of another red card or yellow card. So this Irish team have actually beaten the Springboks 3 times in the last 4 meetings. They are very, very tactically sharp, these guys, and they are disciplined, they are structured, and they are playing in front of a crowd that believes they can actually beat South Africa again. But here's where it actually gets interesting. South Africa's mindset under pressure is unmatched, guys. So if there's one team in world rugby that thrives when the odds are staked against them, it is South Africa, guys. I mean, it's the Springboks. They won the World Cup by 1 point and knockout games where everyone wrote them off. So just coming off the back of winning 61-7 versus Japan, a pure dominant performance. I thought the 32-17 win over France with 14 men was exceptional. And again winning 32-14 versus Italy with 14 men, guys. This was really exceptional. So the Springboks have actually played 110 minutes with 14 men and have outscored the opponent by 34 points. That's 3 games, 3 convincing wins, 3 reminders why this team is still ranked #1. South Africa has been through fire, but I feel the fire is what sharpens them. And playing with 14 men and still finishing strong. Only 2 losses all year. South Africa, they don't break. They just band and just smash you. So I think the key points in the game versus Ireland is going to be the first half and the first 25 minutes, especially within the lineouts. I think this game is going to turn into a war of attrition and it's going to turn into a messy game in the end. And I think SA just really needs to stay composed and stay, because I know Ireland is going to bring accuracy. They're just going to bring speed. They're going to bring home support and they move the ball quite well. So, but the Springboks are coming with something bigger, resilience, depth, and the ability to just win games when everything is going wrong. And I think Rassie is going to spend the whole week training with 13 men versus 15 because again, world rugby seems to be against South Africa. The officiating has been poor and I think they need to look into these referees, man. Like, if you're going to go with such calls, I want you to be consistent, right? So I think the Springboks are just being tested mentally, physically, and actually tactical. So guys, I just think world rugby cannot keep on hiding behind protocols with these protocols that are being applied with zero common sense, guys. I believe the reason why they brought the 20-minute red card was to avoid permanent red cards for things that look accidental. And this is ruining matches. This might ruin a career, guys, and the integrity of the sport. I mean, there's no consistency. The same tackle gets a yellow card 1 week, a red the next. There were 2 tackles that were really similar to what South Africa was given a red card for. And Siya Kolisi kept on complaining to the ref and actually mentioning that the TMO is probably favoring the other team. Mitigation is being ignored entirely, even when players are clearly falling, they're sleeping, or being double tackled. So, where's the common sense? I mean, fans and players can actually clearly see that something wrong with this refereeing and they need to understand the game, the context and the speed at which the game is played. Sometimes you can't react the way they are thinking in real time, right? So I feel like the team was out of control, slowing down the game and just manufacturing decisions instead of supporting the referee. And it also feels like they're doing everything they can possible to push it to a permanent red card. So a scenario where the referee was actually saying there's mitigation because it was a double tackle, but the other referees tried to convince the referee for a permanent red card. And I feel like that's not good. That's not good for the game. You can clearly see on the big screen what's happening. And I feel like probably they need to do what they do in the Premier League, where the referee actually goes to a much smaller monitor and see things much closer. But every time this team faces adversity, they come out stronger. So this Saturday is going to be no different. They have a chance to actually silence a whole stadium, win on forward so, and just remind the world why they're number one. So my prediction for this game is going to be a tight, brutal match. But I think South Africa are just going to edge it by 3 or 5 points. It's going to be a very, very tactical game. And I think Sasha has to be on top of his game. He has to stay calm under pressure. He has to be composed. And I don't think this is a game that's going to require him to play a game of like hero ball. So guys, drop your score predictions in the comments. Hit like and subscribe and get ready for an incredible test match. Go Bokke.